Welcome to part 2 of Mastering Chemistry Best Practices. We're going to pick up where we left off from video 1, and that's discussing how to use mastering for pre-lecture. Pre-lecture can offer a lot of benefits in regard to just-in-time teaching. It allows instructors to skip content that the student may already understand or refocus their lecture and spend more time on those difficult items. The key to this, though, is using the diagnostics in the gradebook to see which items students struggled with and which they mastered and which they spent more time and effort on. Now, flipping the classroom is a hot topic in chemistry right now, and certainly any of these pre-lecture assets would be great for this type of course, but you don't have to be flipping your classroom to get a real benefit out of pre-lecture assignments. Many instructors are using pre-lecture reading quizzes now as a way to get students familiar with material before lecture. Also, students always come into class with varying levels of prerequisite knowledge. Every Mastering Chemistry course has Math Review and Chemistry Review section in the item library. These are particularly effective when assigned with adaptive follow-up assignments. My readiness test also offers another way for students to get up to speed before the course on the math required for chemistry. Pause and predict videos can be effective for demonstrations pre-lecture as well. I also get asked all the time about pre and post lab questions in mastering. These are available for most of our Gen Chem books by using the drop-down in the item library. Schools taking advantage of this find a lot of value because they can assess students on lecture and lab with a single code. How are you using mastering during your lecture to promote active learning? It's a great question to ask your mastering users. Simulations are a great way for students to learn conceptually by interacting. Mastering Chemistry has both PhET and lab simulations. Now, science instructors have always been on the forefront of using technology like clickers. Learning Catalytics is going to give students an opportunity to learn actively by using mobile devices. It will also encourage peer-to-peer learning. You'll have an additional training video specific to Learning Catalytics. This is going to take classroom engagement and participation to a whole new level. Learning Catalytics will be available through a single sign-on in Mastering Chemistry for spring 2014, along with a lot of new Pearson author content. Now, we've already discussed a few strategies for homework and mastering, like pairing problems and test reviews, but adaptive follow-up assignments powered by Newton offer the best way for students to receive individualized, personalized help. Adaptive follow-up assignments are currently available with TRO AMA 3E and BLB MW 12E. You can also see the list of books they will be available for in Fall 14. Now, we talked about math review tutorials in my readiness test as being great for pre-lecture and pre-class, but math remediation tutorials offer a more just-in-time math review. If you're not familiar with these, they're denoted by a plus and minus icon in the item library and actually take students to Math Excel for additional help if they struggle with the math needed for chemistry. You'll see some examples below. There's also one in your demo course. Now, have you utilized all your resources for implementing mastering, or more importantly, have your instructors? Offering suggestions of best practices from other schools and case studies can go a long way in improving usage. In fact, we have several case studies that directly cite improved exam scores due to mastering usage. Have you brought on a faculty advisor to consult at your accounts? Sapling offers a chemist that can correlate questions, but you can offer the consultation of a faculty advisor actually using mastering in the classroom. These are two very different offerings. Do you have any users that could be FAs or contribute to efficacy? Advocacy is the ultimate form of product delight. While most of this presentation is focused on Gen Chem, the strategies can apply to any courses. I want to take a couple of minutes to share some of the most useful assets and practices in other courses. As of this fall, we will be introducing the new drawing tool into all GOB courses. This will be much easier for students to use and similar to the drawing tool in organic. Speaking of organic, a few best practices in mastering for organic include using the introductory to mastering assignments on how to draw tutorials at the beginning of the course. You'll find these in the item library, and they're also accompanied by videos that get the students up to speed on the drawing tool quickly. Also, did you know that both the Wade and Bruce Organic course offer several hundred end-of-chapter questions with feedback? Finally, another best practice that's been popular is to track learning objectives for the MCAT. We've actually had a lot of students request that their instructors do this as a preparation tool. And in Suhaki, we've added 40 new video checks that feature John Suhaki, the author himself, explaining some difficult concepts in chemistry. Now, we want to finish this up by offering just some random tips that we got and common tips from both your LTSs and faculty advisors. So we'll start with the LTSs. Some of their suggestions include using pre-built assignments as a starting point. You don't have to use these the way they are off the shelf. You can modify the settings, add and delete questions. Also, the default in mastering is to deduct points for hints. Most instructors want to encourage students to use hints, so we suggest not deducting points. You can also assign more points for longer questions that take more time. Another best practice is allow students to view the assignment after the due date for review. If you pick this selection, it locks the assignment down until the due date so other students can't copy, but still allows students to use the assignment for a study aid. Also, we always recommend that instructors assign the Intro to Mastering assignment so students know how to enter their answers. And some tips from faculty advisors. Assignments should not exceed 45 minutes, and it obviously should be required from a grade, most commonly 10 to 20%. The assigning of cumulative quizzes before tests or problems are a great review tool. I thought another great idea was to assign prerequisite assignments at the beginning of the second semester for 2-semester courses. Now, there's many of these, and we're not suggesting you implement these all at once, but instructors can implement one or two and build their course just like they naturally do with lecture.